Hello, everybody. My name is Rachel Arazo, and welcome back to the Creature Musical Tarot Deck Challenge. It's day 5. Last day. And everybody has come so far with this challenge. I'm so incredibly proud of you. Because I know that this was a feat for some people. It was kind of hard, especially for people who aren't super musically inclined. So I want to say how proud I am of everybody for undertaking this, because by the end of today, because we're working on the Suit of Pentacles, you will have your deck. Hi, Lisa. I'm glad. Now people are coming in. Let me know how the quality of the video is doing. I have to call Comcast and get them to come out here because the modem is freaking out. So let me see. And it's being funky. Come on. I wanted to just check and make sure that sound was good. But today, we're going to be talking about rhythm and beats and percussion. We're going to talk about drums today. And it's super funny because my mother is very rhythmic in herself. In high school, she played the drums. Because at first they put her on the flute and she has asthma and it almost killed her. So she went ahead and moved to the drums. And so I grew up with drums as a good part of my childhood. Let's see, do I have sound? Video's still fuzzy, yeah. I know video's still fuzzy. I'm gonna call Comcast and test them out today, because yesterday they didn't answer me. So I'm gonna get that fixed. I also have a lot of announcements today after our part of the challenge, but I'm gonna do some of them in this video, but then I'm gonna make a new video because I want to show you guys all the changes that are happening. So, just to give you a heads up. But we will give it a minute to let people come in. Say hello when you pop in. I see 2 people here. Where's the other person? Hello. Let's see. Let's also make sure that I got all my stuff for announcements today. Hi, Caitlin! Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I hope you're having an awesome Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Oh, it's Friday! Oh, I adore it. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. This is the wrong notebook. Whoa. So, like I said, today we're talking about rhythm and beats. How much do you, as a person in general, know about the drums? Tell me in the chat. How much do you actually care about drums? Or rhythm or beats or anything? Let's see, what is this? Yes, starts there. Because I grew up with drums in my life, and I'm going to share with you guys a couple of stories where paying attention to rhythm really impacted my reading in a lot of ways, because even though tarot reading is really visual and it's really like I said, visual, and it's more artistic, there also is a rhythm within looking at art. So I'm going to go through a little bit of that today. Caitlin, it's extremely important to keep a band on track or anything on time, really. Exactly. Yeah, the drums are super important. And it's funny because if you look at concert videos of drummers, they usually have headphones in or they have earplugs in. So they can only focus on the beat, so they don't focus on anything else. Or the mics that they're using are isolated, so they can't hear all the reverb and all that kind of stuff, so they can just focus on getting the beat really good. A lot of drummers, some bands with drummers are super multitasking. Like, they made the song Monster. It's a husband and wife duo. The wife does the drums. God damn it. Starts with a S. I can't remember off the top of my head. Skillet! There we go. she does vocals for Skillet at the same time as doing the drums. And it's super, super cool and super, super fun. So basically when it comes to rhythm in general, let's start off really basic. We'll not even throw an instrument in here. So rhythm and beats are based off of tempo, which in really plain terms is just how fast or how slow something moves. Super, super easy. They teach it on Sesame Street. Super, super easy. And counting in time, which when you look at sheet music, you'll see a C at the very beginning of it, or 4/4, or 3/4, or 1/2. That is telling you how quickly or how slowly the music is going. Okay, just to let you know. 4/4 is the most common. It's usually, and all that tells you is that there's 4 beats within a measure, within a section before you see a new bar. That's all it's telling you, but it's so important because depending on the notes that are in there and depending on how long it gets or how complicated looking it gets, that'll determine the rhythm. So rhythm is a little bit different because it's really more the arrangement of the tempo and arrangement of the different beats. And when we get in, see, I grew up, I'm mixed. I'm half black. We're not African American. We're black. We're not from Africa. And I'm half Caucasian. And I grew up with the black part of my family. So I constantly heard growing up of pay attention to the rhythm, get on beat, because my family is full of dancers and very actually musically and artistically people. I remember at my mother's wedding, when she married my sister's father, everybody was teasing him and my sister because they ain't got no rhythm. They couldn't get on the beat. But they couldn't get on the downbeat. And I'll explain what each of those are. But you can tell just from a person's attitude, usually how they walk, what kind of rhythm they have about themselves. Normally, and comedians like to do this. Like if you pay attention to Eddie Griffin, he likes to make fun of people's beats and how they walk. So he's like, brothers always got rhythm, they always slow and purposeful. They usually walk with a boom 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 boom. Then we get to somebody that is not very rhythmic and they're like and they're super choppy with it. So a tarot card is very similar. Depending on what's going on in the image, you can tell from the characters that are there what kind of rhythm is happening. Even if you aren't into music, if you're into something visual, looking at the art and how it's been painted, if you can see literally on a painting long strokes, you can tell that this is a very gentle kind of painting. Or if you see pointillism, for example, which is when you just do a bunch of tiny little dots and they make a gigantic picture, you can tell the rhythm that the artist had while trying to get it all down. So it comes into play with tarot because not only do we have an image that's relatable to our life that we're looking at, but we're also looking at a piece of art someone has made. And depending on what they're listening to, that'll determine how they create it. You know, does that make sense? Jack White. Yes, thank you, Caitlin Skillet. Hi, Kelly, by the way. Caitlin says, that's why I feel bad for Ringo Starr. Poor guy was important, but he gets made fun of. Yeah, it's everybody makes fun of the drummers, and you really shouldn't make fun of the drummers. Drummers are honestly the most awesome and usually the most cool-headed people in the band. I remember watching a movie, The Commitments, I believe it's called, where it's just this cover band, and when they first get their drummer, and this guy is so hyped up and he's so tense, but then and then he can do the drums super good because he has an outlet for it, and then he gets super calm after a while. And it's just people who have that distinct sense of rhythm and who they are as a person are really good at judging rhythm when it comes to tarot cards. So like I said, the easiest way, here's some examples of rhythm in case you don't understand. So let's take the song Rumor Has It by Adele. Throughout the song, you can hear in the background it's going bum, 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 bum. And you can even clap along with it and you will keep in beat with the song. Because the beat is just bum, bum, bum. But the rhythm is... And even at one point in the song, she goes bum, 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 bum. But you can still hear throughout the song. So you have multiple rhythms layering on top of each other, and it gives a really a distinct sound to it to help her tell the story of all these rumors that are going around. You can almost see the people going, no, stop your shit. A little bit. You can almost hear it and see it in your mind. Another one that's really distinct, Queen's We Will Rock You. Boom, 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 boom. Super distinct rhythm. And it's really easy. That's why everybody plays it at a basketball game or a football game. Because your feet are already enhanced by standing on the stands. But it's one way to get really pumped up. And it's a really simple thing to get into your head. So as soon as you hear the song, it sticks with you, and that's why it got so popular, because everybody was like, boom, boom, boom. I can do this. This is super easy. You know? Hi, Anna. It's totally okay. We're talking about rhythm. So there's another one that drives... People have made fun of this. The Rembrandts during the song I'll Be There For You for the theme song for the TV show Friends. No one told you life was gonna be this way. They made fun of it on Family Guy. Timing it, boom, 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 trying to escape from Shawshank. They make fun of it all the time, but that's how you know that show. It's a distinct rhythm that goes with it. And then the rest of the song is super catchy, so people are still going with it. And it fits within it. So you already get a picture painted of what the show is going to be just from the first 2 bars of the actual song. Is everybody with me here so far when I talk about rhythm and different distinctions of rhythm? Give me a like or a heart or let me know in the comments. While I get water. Awesome. You guys understand. Fantastic. And if any time you get really confused, especially I know like day 3, we had issues with some technical terms for the numerology one. So today, if you have issues understanding, please pop a comment. I'm watching them over here. Kelly, I'm a band nerd. See, I'm a choir nerd. We were next door to the band, guys. So I know a little bit of it. And it's just like, when it comes to rhythm, it can change depending on where there's emphasis on the downbeat or the upbeat. Usually, to put this in really simple terms, the upbeat is usually what we pay attention to most when we're listening to a song. So, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. That's the upbeat with just me going like that. If I do the downbeat, it's twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. It's the same pace, but I'm paying attention to the downbeat so it sounds faster. You know? So, different drums and different types of percussion in general will pay emphasis to different beats. So like the tambourine, everybody knows the tambourine, they usually pay attention to the upbeat and the one that everybody can hear. Unless they really want to get into it, then they pay attention to both. Well, to both of them. The bass drum on a drum kit usually gives the concrete upbeat. The snare gives an extra little kick to it. It usually gives another emphasis type of rhythm on it. the tenor drum, the timpani. We talked about all the instruments yesterday. So it's like these different drums and these different percussive instruments will pay attention and create a new kind of rhythm depending on the song. And the fun part about this, and why I feel it really fits with Pentacles, is because Pentacles is the slowest, if you think of time-wise, when it comes to tarot. It really gets into... When you think about timelines in general, Pentacles usually take years. But the more Pentacles you stack onto the card, it shows how long it's happened, or it shows a distinct rhythm with that person. So the Two of Pentacles rhythm, where he's balancing the Pentacles, is a little bit different than the Eight of Pentacles. Just like the Seven of Pentacles is different than the Four, you know? All of it can seem really slow, but it depends on where that emphasis is. Does that make sense? Kelly says, I play piano, trumpet, trombone, flute, clarinet, sax, guitar, bass, and the quads. Ah! So just all over. So you understand this perfectly. You get what I'm talking about. And it's funny because even some other ones that we don't necessarily think of, like the Tibetan bowls, it's a percussive instrument because you're using a mallet for it, usually, even to just swirl it. If you think of, for example, if you've seen the movie August Rush, when he has somebody use water with glasses, that's a percussive instrument. It's not a wind or anything like that, because you're not blowing any air into it, and you're not moving a bow. It's a percussive instrument. So it's super, super fun. So if you think about different drums or different pentacle cards moving to different distinct beats, that's how you can relate them to songs a lot. So for example, we take the band Slipknot, which if you don't know them, if you're not into metal, these are the guys with the funky looking masks. Some of them have needles through them. I actually have Slipknot pulled up here. Some of them look like zombies. One of them looks like Reaper from frickin' Overwatch. One of them looks like a clown. They get really creepy looking. And that was their whole thing. They wear masks. That's a part of their thing. And they, at one time, I have the timeline up right here, have had 5 percussionists at one time playing in songs. 5 people on 5 different drum sets, using different ones. Like, they have one guy on the main drums, but then they have 4 other people that have done custom percussion. And it causes a lot of layering in their songs. That's why their songs feel so chaotic and so hyped up and whoa, and they scream and it's yeah. Because the more emphasis for the beat they have in there, the more they go whoa. And it gives them kind of this hectic. They're a faster pentacle. They would be like in aces, or even how detailed they are, they could be the Eight of Pentacles. They could be the page. Just the entire group as a core could be the page. But then when we switch to Stone Sour, the lead singer Corey Taylor's private project, when he's away from Slipknot, it's not as hectic. And it's not as percussive, because there's only one drummer. So there's a difference there, even just within the songs. They sound very similar because it's the same singer, but it's 2 different types of feels to it. It's not as, you're not as pent up energy, you know. It's not as reversed 7 pentacles. And it's not as just suspense. Whereas, and if you think about it this way, if you don't just want to take bands with their percussion instruments, you can take the different ways that percussion has been used. So, another part of my heritage, part of my ethnicity, is I'm an 8th Native American. I don't know specifically which one. My grandfather is half. His name is Bernard Hiawatha Byers. That's him. And he is from over somewhere in Georgia. I never asked him specifically which one we are. And My mother was very big into yes, we are different ethnicities. She loves different cultures and combining things and everything. So, when I was little, especially because I had my really long hair, I had hair down to the back of my calves. We would braid it up and put all these ribbons in it, and we would go to powwows. We went to the Native American festivals here in Colorado all the time. So we would go out to Garden of the Gods. And even one of the kids that I knew in my class in school, he was doing the butterfly dance, where at first they're the chrysalis and they bring in more hoops and then they transform into a butterfly. He would do those. So, and those are so very distinct with their drums. If you are not on point with the drums while you're doing the dance, that's how you fall over and hurt yourself and you're tangled in all these hoops. And I remember going to this giant gymnasium and this big old group of drummers in the middle playing to all these different rhythms and doing all these different rituals and just getting up and dancing around in a circle with all the other kids and just swarming around it. And it was so fun to feel that energy through your body. So this wasn't even a band. This was just a group of people that wanted to get together to celebrate something about their culture and just enjoy each other. And drums, because they would go into the dynamics where it got super, super soft and then louder and softer and louder, it really helped fill whatever was within me. So it was very much a Three of Pentacles kind of student moment where I was just enjoying the feel of it and learning about it and feeling the flow of it. So there could very well be a moment within your Pentacle suit that flows like that, where it's not based on the number of drums or how quickly the beat is. It could be very ritualistic, if that's the type of music that you like to listen to. And that really helps when going over into other cultures and the music that they enjoy. You know, it's because there's different types of rhythms and different types of percussion instruments that are used. So definitely explore this. It's not one set thing. So then, like I mentioned, Tibetan bowls, that counts as percussion. So if you feel like for the Ace of Pentacles, it's so pure and so fertile and so vibrant that you just put a Tibetan bowl there and just have that sound ringing, for sure, go for it, because that counts. That's wonderful. Or you could do multiple Tibetan bowls stacked on top of each other. Excuse the background. My daughter's in a mood today. But does that make sense? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Where you don't have to do just like Slipknot, where there's 5 different bands at once. Or there was a video that I really loved where they were taking this song. I think it was Down with the Sickness. It might have been something else. And it was literally a gigantic convention center full of over 100 different bands and drummers, and they were all. The energy was intense, and all the singers were going at the same time, and all the guitars were going at the same time, and it just layered. It was huge. So, and it gives that kind of like, even though this is very slow moving, and we have such emphasis on percussion here, there's such an energy still behind it. Yes, Anna says, drums and beat of them is very special. It's hard to not feel the vibrations of them, how they move through your body. I got a drum and I made for myself. Lovely sound, but not appropriate for an apartment. Neighbors will not be happy. That's very true. Yeah, it's very, very true. It does depend on where you are. I remember when I lived down in Alamosa, when I very first started my business, our neighbor next door liked to do her morning chants and sing her and do her drums at the same time. And hearing that at 4:00 in the morning wasn't the best, but it was something at least. So we talked about drums and ritual. We talked about different ones evoking a mood. Also think about, in case hearing it is still not good for you, think of the times that you have seen in a movie or in a book where someone has used an instrument to do something. And it's usually a drum. So, for example, I love the books Bloody Jack. It's about this girl that pretends to be a boy and becomes a ship's boy, and she goes around within the British fleet during Victorian time period. And there's a distinct moment when they're first about to fight pirates, because they're on one of the Queen's ships, where one of her friends is standing there. They always had a drum boy, because every time he beat the drum, the cannon would go off. So he's standing there and he's terrified, and he's got this tiny little snare drum, but every time he hits it, the cannons go off so that they could actually do it, and they relied on him. So a lot of the times people protected that small boy, so everybody on the ship knew when to fire the cannon, when to save themselves, you know? So think of things like that. Or just in general, anytime I think of Dances with Wolves, where sometimes they would have horns or drums that were signaling war. In order to tell the story of a battle over again, they would use drums to show the beat of the battle, and when the battle got really heightened, they would go faster and faster and faster and faster, and then when it calmed down, it would go slower and gentler. Another thing, drums, not just with the cannons on ships, but they also were shown in Mulan, if I remember correctly, very beginning of the movie, where the Huns are coming over the wall. I'm talking about the Disney one that's cartoon right now. I know that they're making a live action one. When the Huns are coming over the walls and he finally lights the signal fire, you start to hear the low pulse of the drums in the background to let people know. They have the drums while celebrating in the main city with the dragon going, because drums were a big part of their culture. So think of it in those kinds of ways as well, depending, especially if you're using a deck as a visual aid while you figure out these songs. See if you can include some other types of meanings into them. Do you have a Drums of War Pentacles song that you want to do? Do you feel like the Knight of Pentacles would do that? Or do you have some more gentler ones with, little dustings of the xylophone in here? Because that is a percussion instrument. Do you feel the need to have the Michael Myers theme song somewhere? It's like dun 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 dun. Do you feel the need to do that? Definitely think about it. There's all kinds of things you could do. And since I've used it for drum travels, but that was at more places more appropriate. Exactly. Totally get that. So, do you guys have some of the thoughts running through your head on how you can fit this in with the Suit of Pentacles? Because you could take this literally in terms of a bunch of slow songs speeding up, or you could take this in the amount of drums that are being used. Give me hearts or thumbs up if you understand if you have kind of an idea of how you would do this. I'll give it a second. It's got a slight delay. Yes. Awesome. I'm glad you do. And this is really, let me get the workbook for you guys. This challenge really has been a challenge for quite a few people, especially if this is your first time thinking of tarot in an audible way and not in a visual way. Because we are so used to intuitively doing things with our eyes. This kind of exercises some clairaudience here, where we hear it instead. Ooh, Kelly says Voodoo by Godsmack is definitely Knight of Pence for me. See, when I think of voodoo, not only does it bring up some very interesting memories for me, but I think of the first time I really heard that song. I was in belly dancing class with my mother, because culture, she loves culture. And this woman was doing belly dancing to it. So I see that, me personally, I'd put that a little bit more Queen of Pentacles because of the drums in there. But I see what you mean with the rhythm, how it's kind of, it's got that mystical element in there for tarot, but it's also very distinct. I love it. So I really hoped I really hope that you guys enjoyed the challenge this week. This has been so incredibly fun. I've been wanting to do a musical and tarot challenge for so long. I adore it so very much. And this has been so incredibly fun for helping other people kind of blend it all together. And it's fun because not only do you walk away with your own deck, but now you kind of know your tarot cards a little bit better because you're not just focusing on written keywords, you're focusing on audible ones that you made for yourself. And I love that so much. So now, if you guys make the entire deck at whenever you decide to finish, now you have something to carry with you, even if you can't physically keep the cards on you. So I wanted to share some announcements with you guys. Anna says, thanks, I'll continue working on this. It's been fun so far. Yes, it's super fun. And who else is gonna do a musical tarot deck challenge? It probably would be a lot longer. But it's not as... I don't know. I find it super fun. I've enjoyed listening to everybody's music this week as well. So there are some new things that you guys are going to be seeing. So next week, I changed the branding a little bit. And so the colors are still going to be like our greens and stuff for the group. But also I've changed the topics up a little bit. There won't be one on Mondays anymore. It'll just go strictly Tuesday through Saturday. There will be a specific day. We still are going to have our feminine days on Wednesdays, where we celebrate women of all ethnicities and all ages. I'm making sure to do all ages as well, because we have some very beautiful women in here who aren't in their 20s like me. So I want to make sure everybody is included. Also, we have some guys in this group that are very, very quiet. They never say anything, and they don't do much. But I know you guys are there, and you're watching, and you guys are wonderful. We still have mainly masculine things on Thursdays. But it's going to be Teach Thursday. So if you guys have a business, or you're coming out with a book, or a challenge like me, only in a different group, or something like that, share those on Thursdays in a specific thread. And you're going to see all this next week as we go through it. And then I also wanted to talk to you about this weekend, because me and Susie, I know, last week or the week before, we're doing Moon Sister Activation Circle stuff. So if you guys never completely understood what that was, is Susie, Zern, and I were teaming up to do a tag team tarot event. And we still are. This is going to be a monthly thing where we create a specific energy activation around the moon for that month. So tomorrow, actually today at 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, we got hit with the full moon in Libra officially. And it's a blue moon because there's 2 moons this month. So we're going to be making an energy activation for you, which it just boosts your manifesting ability. It helps you through Mercury retrograde, because I know that's a thing right now. And a good chunk of you that are in the Academy already have reserved spots for this month. So it's going to be amazingly fun. But there's still slots open. So what I'm doing in order to give you guys the best of everything is I've created 3 tiers within the Academy. So everybody right now is at the bronze tier, except for those that are doing the activation stuff. And basically, even last week when you guys saw me doing payment plans, I'm trying to make it more affordable for you. Okay, so right now, what I'm planning on offering is, so you don't have a commitment for frickin' ever to pay off the Crone Academy, because it's pretty hefty right now. I have tiers for what kind of student that you want to be, because the Crone Academy includes so much stuff. We're actually getting ready to start our first exclusive workshop on the 16th next month. It'll be a 5-week challenge where we build up your power base as a psychic and as a magical worker. And it's going to be incredibly fun. And I'm going to do it with you guys. And it's so fun. So what I've decided to do is, first off, the bronze tier will be for $47.77 a month. And these are for new members that have not joined the Academy already. And that gives you, it's 12 months of this, and you pay off the lifetime membership to the Academy. So after you pay it off, you don't ever have to pay anything again. That's all the workshops I've ever done. That's all the challenges I've ever done and will do in the future. That's all the courses that will come out in the future. So that palmistry course and the I Ching course and the rune course that I haven't even created yet, you guys get that after it's been released. You get an exclusive membership pass to all of the challenges, like the elemental one that we're going to be starting on the 16th. You will do that. And you will have that as well as any other challenges I create. There's 2 other ones that will start later in the year. And you get access to the Crone Academy Facebook. So if you go through and you see me and you click on the other Crone Academy group that's available, both the names are super similar, I know. And you get the message from me saying, hey, this is the members only group, you finally get access to that. So you get my one-on-one support no matter what. So that's for the bronze level. And that's already a crap ton of benefits because you guys are getting everything that I will ever create for this. And that's awesome. Next one is the silver level. So that one is $97.77 a month. And that includes a year subscription to the Moon Sister Activation Circle. So that's every time there's a full moon, you get a specialized energy activation, and you get a reading with me and Susie. Plus the Crone Academy stuff. So you get all kinds of stuff, including all the workbooks and stuff that I make. So, because after this, I'm going to be going live in the Moon Sister group, and I'm giving them a free workbook for Mercury retrograde. So you guys get a bunch of special stuff there. You also get, for the gold one, the top tier one. So that's Moon Sister activation for a year. That's Crone Academy for the rest of your frickin' life until the internet decides to die. Okay? And my 100% support. But if you do the gold level, which is $210.16 a month, so $210.16, for 12 months, you get to do a one-on-one coaching package with me, where we meet with every 2 weeks on your schedule, and we come up with a custom plan to magnify your psychic development, take your intuitive tarot reading to the next level, and create a solid spiritual magical practice for yourself. And this can be coaching over anything. These are not cookie cutter coaching packages where, we only talk about this and only talk about that. No. We morph it to what you need at that time. So if that means we have you jump around in the courses on the Academy, that's what we do. If it means that we come up with something completely different than everybody else, that's what we do. But you meet with me for every 2 weeks, and we talk for an hour. And that's what we do. It's you and me one-on-one. So that also includes 24/7 email and chat support. It includes all kinds of bonuses. Because you and me are working one-on-one. Like this, face-to-face over video or over the phone, whatever is comfortable for you. So I wanted to create these different options because I realized payment plans are fantastic, because I know a lot of people here are having issues in their own lives with finances, but at the same time want to join the Academy because they're at that level for reading and they really could use it and really could help. And I wanted to make it more affordable than $75 a month. Which, and this, I'm not sure how long this is going to be up. I'm not sure how long I'm going to let this offer be up. So I would grab this as soon as possible. Let me put the link so you guys have it. And you can see all the tiers. Yes, Lisa, I did find a way to work through all my stress this week. Because I do so much and I want to create a million things for you guys. And the rest of this year is really going to be focused on psychic development. It's really going to be focused on building up all of your abilities. So this is what I've been doing for quite some time. trying to figure out how to make it really, really work for you, because so many people were interested in getting a payment plan, but I don't want to break the bank. So I have a bunch of different options for you guys to make it easier for you. So what I'm going to do on top of this is I'm going to end this live, and I'm going to make a new one immediately after. Don't go nowhere. Because I'm going to show you guys the back end, so you literally get to see what's in my academy. Because I know that it's a little weird that you hear so much about this academy and you don't know exactly what's in it. So I'm going to go live real quick and I'm going to show you. So I love you all. I'm so glad that you enjoyed this challenge. I enjoyed doing it with you. And I will see you in like a couple seconds. Bye.